For this one, we're doing numbers. There's a lot of number questions, and then you're looking usually for a product, right? Something multiplied, and it's going to be a max min. So all of our questions are quadratic. So all of these have to have usually some sort of multiplication. We're basically looking for something squared, right? And this basis of what we're doing now is we're looking for equations that have something squared in it. This is going to be the basis for word problems that when we get to calculus. So if you do take calculus, we will be doing these word problems, but we will no longer be restricted to quadratics. We'll be able to do anything with any types of exponents, negatives, positives, rational numbers, all that sort of stuff. So the basis of what we're doing here will be used later on. So if you're like, no, these word problems, no, they're actually really good because they're the basis for solving problems later on. Okay, we're doing kind of simplified ones. So the number problem, we have two integers whose sum is 26, and I want the product to be a maximum. So if I want the product to be a maximum, okay, then I want you to make up an equation. So my equation has to have a left and a right side, right? So a y and an x side, and we're going to find the vertex. So the first thing I want to do is set these guys here. I have two integers whose sum is 26, and the maximize the product. So I'm going to let's start with this, let x and y represent the integers. Okay, and you can do something specific enough, but not too, you don't have to write a paragraph, not too long. So let x and y represent, I use rep to short form for represent the integers. Okay, we know that they have a sum that is 26. That is given, right? So that is the given part where we cannot change this at all. It has to have a sum of 26. So I know that x plus y has to equal 26. I want you to find the maximum product. So this is the part that we're trying to find. So I want you, this is going to be a separate line here. And next year I'm going to make you be a little bit more specific with your equations and stuff, but for this year I want you to go something like product, something like that. So product is going to be xy. So this is what we're going to find the max or min of. So this is the part where we find the vertex, this side, okay? This side is given. So we're not trying to find the maximum. This is given, and this is the side we're trying to, okay? So this is going to be the part where we're going to either complete the square or use the formula, right? This is the vertex side, and this is what's given. So the given side, we use this to get rid of the two variables. There can only be two variables total. I see 1, 2, 3, correct? There's a p, an x, and a y. On the right side, there should only be x's. Does that make sense? Or only y's. There can't be three variables. There's no such thing as completing the square or using that formula for three variables. So isolate for one of these variables. So I'll bring the x over. And we're going to take that and sub that into this one. By subbing it in, so I'm going to take this here, that, and we're going to sub it in here. By subbing it in, 26 minus x right there, we now have a product, and there's only one variable on the right side. There's only one variable. And that is something that is now going to be quadratic. Can you even see it? X times 26, x times, that's x squared. And that's the goal. Okay? So we're always looking to find the max or the min of something, and we're given some information, okay, with these number questions. So here we have, we might as well just do it the same way. So we're going to go distribute the x. So 26x minus x squared. Okay? And we're going to find the vertex. I'm going to show you two different ways. You might not like it, but so I like to show you both ways in case, right? So I'll show you two different ways to solve it. One is the way I just showed you, and the other way is going to be using the roots, which, again, we've been practicing, right? So I'll show you both ways. I'm going to rewrite this like that, okay? And then I'm going to say, okay, I've got it in nice form. I would like to find my vertex, x. Okay, I put vertex x, some people put xv or something, a little subscript there. I do something, otherwise we have too many x's flying around. I'm like, I don't know, which x are you talking about? So I say vertex x. You can go x with a little subscript, but I usually do vertex x. So equals, and we're going to go negative b over 2a. Okay, and then negative, what again? So this one, we know that this is, a is negative 1. Does that make sense? Right? B is 26, and I don't even need c, but what is c? C is 0. I don't need it, but just in case you were looking for it, there it is. Okay, so I want negative b, so negative 26 over 2 times negative 1. So that's negative 26 over negative 2, which is 13? 13. Is that good? Okay, so then I want to find leave some room up here. If you haven't used up all this room, I'm going to show you an OR possibility. So leave a bit of room up here. Okay, I'll show you an OR up there, but I'm going to finish the question over here. So I want to find, do I want to find P? What do I want to find? Determine the maximum product of two integers whose sum is 26. What am I looking for? P, product. What if I said find the two integers? Do I need to find P? No, then you find the two integers, right? So listen to what the question's asking, because you've done all the hard work. You're done. This is beautiful. You've answered the hard part, set it up gorgeous. Make sure you answer the question I ask. Otherwise, you lose a mark because you're like, oh my God, I didn't answer the right question. I gave you the product, and you asked for the integers. So determine the maximum product of the integers. Do I want to know what the integers are? No, I just want the product. So find P. Okay, you don't want to waste the last mark where you're like, I had perfect, I just didn't answer the question. So find P. So P is, and go back here. Okay, to find P, I go over here. I have x times y. So you might say, I need y. No, you don't. Keep reading. X times 26 minus x, that's the same. I also have, all of these are P. See how I have P here? All of these are P. They're the same equation. They're just written differently. So you can use any of those to find P. Which one of these do you want to use to find P? 1, 2, 3, or 4? They're all the same. 1? But then you have to find y. How about 2? Right, a little bit easier. Y is okay, but then you have to go find y. So I kind of like the second one. So x 26 minus x. Right, they're all okay. They'll get you the same answer, but that's kind of nice because it's already just x. So I'm going to go x, which is 13, 26 minus 13. And look, 26 minus 13 is there. So that's why. So you find it within the question. You should get the same answer either way. And then you go, therefore, the max product is 169. I know you feel like putting equals. Don't put equals. Just write a sentence. IS instead of equals. Everyone's always like, I don't want to write a sentence. I don't like writing sentences either. So just shortest sentence possible that still makes sense. Okay, I'm going to show you. So that's beautiful, right? We got vertex. We have this new formula. It's gorgeous. Totally can use that. You also, I'll show you the grade 10 way that we showed you as well. So we also in grade 10 would go from this factored form and we would find the two roots. So I'll put or. You don't have to do it this way. I'm just going to put or. Okay, you don't have to know all the ways, but just in case you're like, oh, I like that way, I remember it. What we would do is we would say, get up to here and we'd say x, and you say 26 minus x, and you would take each factor and you would say x equals 0 and x equals 26. And then you would find the midpoint between it. So you would say, did you say mid x or just x? You probably just did, and then you added them. You were supposed to do this, like that. You would add the two, and you would say between those two, 0 plus 26 is, you see, 13. Is that the same answer? And then you would have to find P. right? So last year, when we did the solving at the beginning, you didn't know how to do vertex form. You would use the factored form and do each factor and set them and then add them, divide by 2. If you're like, okay, you know what? Too many ways, you can stick to one. You can go back and forth. I don't care if you go back and forth between this way and that way, whichever one you like, and then whichever one's convenient. This was convenient because it was already factored. So it's like, it's already factored form, so it's nice. Then you would have to go find P. So go ahead and keep going with the P. Yes?
Why is that equals to 0?
0 from the first factor, so x equals 0, solve each one, and then 26 minus x, so x equals 26. So you would get the 2 roots. So this is like the 2 roots that we get. So you would get 0 and 26,
Oh, okay.
right? And then you would find the halfway point. So halfway between 0 and 26 is 13, and you would get your vertex that way. So when we first started teaching you in grade 10, we would always do factored form and find the 2 zeros, add it, divide by 2, and do it that way. Then we taught you completing the square and messed with your heads, and and then you're like, so many ways. And then we taught you quadratic formula. And now we're doing this, so. So you can go, if you're like, I like that one, I don't mind. You can sometimes use this one, sometimes use this. Like, it's up to you. Okay, there's more than one way to solve it. Any other questions with that?